Good day, namaskar, salam, adab. Welcome to Hunny Walia shows. Today we have Jordan Walker with us. Is a MLA from Sherwood Park. To give you a little bit about him, about Jordan, he is basically moved from Prince Edward Island to Alberta for looking for opportunity. Young person. He has a experience in not only public sector as well as the private sector. He has a Bachelor of Arts and Master of Arts degree focusing in political science, history, international relation. What a combination. Young person admiring the politics from private sector to a public sector. Welcome, Jordan.
Well, thank you so much, Sunny, for having me, and for Hunny for having me on your show. I know this show is very popular and continues to grow its viewership, so it's just an honor to be here.
Thank you, Jordan. So just to ask, like I saw you have your education, you moved from Prince Edward Island, and then you joined the politics. How was the journey from Prince Edward Island to Alberta from government job as a politician?
Great. Well, thanks for that question on my background, Sunny. You know what? Very blessed. I won the lottery, both being born in Canada and then being an Albertan. I think Alberta is the best place to live in Canada. So began my life in PEI in Eastern Canada, and that was a wonderful upbringing. And like so many Canadians and people around the world, I sought greater opportunity. And I always saw Alberta as the ultimate opportunity society, the ultimate place for upward social economic mobility. So after a long desire to become an Albertan, I achieved that about approximately 10 years ago when I was hired on by the government of Alberta working in their Foreign Qualification Recognition and Immigration Unit, IQUAS. I'm sure many of your viewers know that. So
it's a fantastic story about the international qualification assessment. And I don't know, have you experienced this or not? Like I came from India, and then we have 10 plus 2 plus 3. So when I came here, they recognized my master's degree, but they said I don't have a grade 10. Uh-huh. And that thing, Jordan, you came from Prince Edward Island to Alberta for the opportunity for better. Alberta was prospering that time, right? And we're still prospering, but then with the economy and COVID. So current situation, like, is a hot topic about the pipeline. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on it? How is going to affect economy as well as the job market?
Yeah, great question. And it's a timely topic. You're right, Sunny. As you know, our United Conservative government was elected in April 2019 on a mandate for jobs, the economy, and pipelines. And so our provincial government has been fighting aggressively, passionately to get pipelines built from TMX to Enbridge Line 3 and 5. And we made a bold, decisive bet on Keystone XL. And so obviously we're very disappointed in the decision of President Biden, and Premier Kenney has been out front in the media working hard to make our points known and pressuring Prime Minister Trudeau to act to ensure our interests are put forward. The federal inaction during the initial rejection of 2015, when Obama vetoed Keystone XL, was really too bad. Trudeau was engaging in inaction then, and compare that to when Trudeau was fighting for central Canadian jobs over aluminum and steel tariffs from President Trump. It just seems like he's just not fighting as hard as he can for Alberta like he does for central Canada. That is Prime Minister Trudeau. So on my thoughts on the economy moving forward, our government will continue to fight and be focused like a laser on jobs, the economy, and pipelines, in continuing to focus on economic growth. I'm really excited. I want to turn your viewers' attention to the Alberta Recovery Plan, Sunny. This is a document you can find.
So sorry to interrupt, Jordan. So you guys, I will say the provincial government, and being the UCP caucus, the premier, are working with the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to change President Biden's, or convince him to change his decision. Is that right? That what I understood?
Yeah, we would hope that there's still potentially a window to change the decision, and if not, we want to pursue compensation for potential losses. But at the end of the day, where I'm hopeful, Sonny, is the Alberta Recovery Plan, where we are seeking to build record infrastructure, diversify our economy, and produce good-paying jobs for Albertans. It's a 30-page document. Your viewers can find it. Just Google the Alberta Recovery Plan. It is full of hope and optimism and real fantastic economic forward strategy that I think will lead to long-term prosperity, including for our.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. Jordan, could you send me the link too for that, and we will add it to the under as a on the page, and then if anyone wants to need it, they don't have to look for it. They will have an easy access.
I'm an MLA here to serve. I will do that.
So, Jordan, I really want to thank you as a government, basically provincial government did gave the grant, which they triple it also for the businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And you have recently, when I was reading, it has been open for the newly opened business also.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind to define a little bit more when it has been open for the new businesses, like how far they are going and a little bit more?
Absolutely. Great question, including for your viewership, which would have a lot of entrepreneurs. New Albertans overwhelmingly open up new businesses and are business minded. So thank you for all the entrepreneurs listening who help make Alberta a prosperous place. On the small and medium enterprise relaunch grant that you're talking about, Sonny, the second round is open, and for new companies to apply. It opens on February 4th. So it's coming really soon. And any new company that meets the criteria will be able to apply for this grant starting on February 4th. It's $15,000. We've tripled it from the original $5,000 in the first round. And thousands of Alberta businesses have applied. In fact, we've already provided funding to more than 40,000 Alberta businesses and hundreds of millions of dollars. The budget for this grant was increased to $500 million recently. So you can find it on the Alberta government websites. And if you want, Sonny, I can send you that link as well. We need to support our entrepreneurs during the COVID pandemic.
Thank you. And Jordan, like when we were talking about the COVID and the grant and all in these discussions, we realized that it's always including the businesses, but this grant will be including the nonprofit organizations, and art people who are working in theater, art sector, artists. Will that, because they're not businessmen, but they're self-employed. So will they be qualifying for this?
Great question, Sonny. And as a community leader, may I just tip my hat to you for always supporting community, including nonprofits, which a strong civil society is critical for a strong society overall. And I am proud to confirm that nonprofits are eligible for the small and medium enterprise relaunch grant. As for specifics within the nonprofit category that you mentioned, like artists, my assumption, Sonny, is that if they're a nonprofit, they qualify because nonprofits do. But if you ever need any specific clarifications, just let me know and contact me. But again, nonprofits are eligible. Please go ahead and apply.
Thank you, Jordan. And as I have read and read your articles and everything, you are very strong about it, and you are in favor of international relationship. So where do you see Alberta or Canada moving forward and attracting economy or the investors through the international relationship?
Excellent. Well, Sonny, as you know, my academic background is international relations. It is my greatest passion, and professionally, I worked in the international sphere within immigration and foreign qualification recognition. So I fundamentally believe politicians are elected for vision. My vision has always been Alberta's economic destiny is tied to the Asia Pacific in particular. This large economic bloc that is emerging will be a major 21st century economic superpower, hungry for Alberta's resources. and Alberta hungry for its investment. And ultimately, we just have to be engaged in the world abroad to ensure prosperity here at home. We're a trading jurisdiction of 4.4 million people. We need to trade with the world and seek investment. So on that, Sunny, I'm very excited that we established recently Invest Alberta, which is a new government arm's length crown corporation that is focused on building Alberta's profile abroad to attract inward bound, to attract investment, and also to help our export companies here penetrate markets across the world. So very excited about that initiative, and particularly focusing on developing strategic relationships with the Asia Pacific, including critically South Asia.
Fantastic. Is any particular areas you are looking like when we are talking about investing or in inviting investors and then opening Alberta for the investments? Are we looking for oil sector, IT sector, education, tourism, or all included in it?
That is an excellent question. And honestly, Sunny, it's all of the above, and it's covered in the Alberta Recovery Plan document. Again, a 32-pager. We lay out the sectoral strategies. We're identifying, I think it's 6 to 7 sectors where we're already strong and where we want to grow. And the ones you mentioned, yes, we are targeting them. We are wanting to engage with investors overseas. And so if any of your listeners with their great connections to countries overseas have business ideas or contacts back in perhaps mother countries, they can certainly contact Invest Alberta or contact my office, and we can get them in contact with the right people to get those great business relationships going.
So you are a politician, so I will ask you a next question related to
Don't hate me.
No, I don't hate politicians. We don't live without politicians too. So now, like Alberta is Canada is a democratic country. And when we talk about the democratic country or democracy, it's all the powers have been divided. And municipality, province, federal, everything. Now the elections are coming. Where do you see Alberta or Edmonton going?
Excellent question, Sunny. Thank you so much. And very timely, because we have municipal elections coming up. You know what I would say is that, like you and your viewers, I'm a big believer in in democracy and the open society concept. I believe we flourish as a society because we are open and we are democratic. It's something I deeply cherish. And so with our 3 levels of government in Canada, federal, provincial, and local, I would always encourage people, including your listeners, to get out and vote and follow as much as possible the platforms, the people, and the parties that are in politics to make an informed voting decision. So we have municipal elections coming up. I think that's wonderful. And I just encourage people to get out and make their voice heard. Voter turnout is generally higher in provincial and federal elections, and it's actually kind of quite low in local, but hopefully we'll get turnout up this coming October.
Alberta or Canada, we have all the different races, different religion. We are multicultural province or multicultural country. It has pro and cons. It has good thing. It's a bad thing. As now you too and your family, you're kind of multicultural too. You are a Caucasian. Your wife is Japanese. Where do you see that? Like how it's helping the economy or Canada or Alberta?
Well, Canada is a nation of immigrants, wonderful First Nations people who were here first. And so I just wanted to say that immigrants have greatly strengthened Canada and Alberta. And so, yeah, given my life experience as a person who deeply believes in pluralism, multiculturalism, and diversity strengthening our society, Canada is a really special place, isn't it? And so is Alberta for the tolerance and pluralism we have here. And so I've always been, like our premier has been, and I'm so I was excited that the premier, in the leadership he exercises, including around multiculturalism and how important that is to him and our government. Immigration is a net positive for Alberta and the Canadian economy. Overwhelmingly, immigrants disproportionately form our entrepreneurs, our risk takers. They are successful in becoming doctors and lawyers and just good contributing members to our society, and often have strong family values that keep society strong. So, I mean, I'm very proud that Canada accepts a large amount of immigrants each year. And in Alberta, we want to retain that talent and keep it here because it really is beneficial to our society.
Thank you, Jordan. I'm really proud of you too, like what you do in the community, how you are involved, how you not only as a MLA, but you go out of your way to help people. And your office is always open to help people, not only share people who are from Sherwood Park, from the outside too. Thanks a lot. So in the end, what message would you like to give to the viewers?
In the end, first of all, I want to say in my final message, thank you so much to Hunny and Sunny. Has a nice rhyme. Thank you, Hunny and Sunny, to having me on your wonderful
That's
show.
a good rhyme, though.
It is, isn't it? I wish you guys all the success in the future. Look forward to being on again. I hope your listeners have enjoyed learning about me and what I do. And just a final message, I just want to say our government and myself as an MLA is focused. We are focused like a laser on COVID, healthcare, and an economic recovery. And I just want to say on vaccines, I know everyone's closely watching that. Alberta has been the national leader in vaccine administration. We are leading in per capita vaccinations. The problem with that is that we are waiting on the federal government, on Prime Minister Trudeau, to give us more vaccines. Alberta Health Services currently has capacity to deliver up to 50,000 doses of COVID every week. That's why we've been leading the country, serving Albertans. But Prime Minister Trudeau is creating, there's bottleneck problems. We can't get the vaccines. That is his job. And unfortunately, he's coming up short. So we're on this. We're fighting, doing what we can to get enough vaccines out, but we're working with a federal government who's coming up short. But once more, thanks so much for having us on your show. I encourage everyone to check out the Alberta Recovery Plan, where we build record infrastructure, diversify our economy, and produce good paying jobs for a strong, robust economic recovery, hopefully starting this year. Thank you so much, Sunny.
Thank you, Jordan. I really appreciate your time. I know you are busy. You're all days. You are working on weekends from 13 or 14 hours a day, but thank you for taking from a time for us from your busy schedule. Once again, please keep watching Hunny Walia shows. We don't only do it in English. We have our shows in Hindi and Punjabi also. Keep watching. If you have any comments, please give it to us. We are always here looking forward for your comments. I'm your host, Sonal Phul. Take your leave till we meet again. Thanks a lot.